hello to Grassroot Duo Quickies, and we're going Grassroot Quickies. That's the name of our podcast. The highlight of the news has been about Messi and Barcelona, but we have our traditional curtain raiser, the Community Shield, and we would like to talk about it because my team Arsenal is featuring in it. So I have whatever happens, I'm going to drag somehow this podcast to talk about Arsenal. And as usual, Vedant is with me. Where will he go? And he's always at his house ready for the podcast. Although yesterday I asked him and he denied the opportunity, so I don't know why he's lazy that way. I think. Are
Uh,
you lazy, Vedant? I
I
think
don't
so.
know
Yeah, I
what type.
will answer
Yeah,
for you.
like who would answer that question by saying that he's lazy on a podcast? But I would like to say I'm not. I was just busy in some work
Yeah,
yesterday.
yeah, busy
Yeah,
watching some web series and something
yeah.
else. Very busy.
No, actually, okay, never mind. I don't think we should involve religion in our podcast now. So we'll not
Okay.
go into why I was busy, just that I was busy.
Okay.
So yeah, well, let's talk about Arsenal and Liverpool, the Community Shield final, which is tomorrow. And I think you're excited for it, of course.
Yeah, yeah. So before the game, let's talk about how well prepared are both teams, and let's start with Arsenal. Um,
Yeah,
we can say that they have gotten certain transfers done. I think, although Gabriel is still to sign the contract, and I heard one guy just commenting on, I think, like tweeting or something that Aubameyang signs a contract and then he passes the pen to Gabriel. So maybe Arsenal are looking to do that because it's just killing me about what's
no, they,
happening.
they they they
Like
actually in every whenever Arsenal are signing a player on every tweet there are people who comment that Aubameyang will sign a contract and then
yeah,
Jose
yeah,
will say how may I assist you and then Gabriel will come. So it's pretty normal now. It happens with
yeah,
United as well. Yeah, so yeah, and Gabriel, but I think he might have signed the contract. Arsenal are just
yeah, yeah.
yet to unveil the
To
player.
announce.
And yeah, and I think they would. I think if Arsenal do win, they would. Better way to announce a player by on Sunday when he's holding the trophy, and Arsenal would just tweet that presenting our new boy with his first ever trophy or something like that.
Yeah, new Brazilian in the squad. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah. So just extending the transfer point, I think Pablo Mari has come in, and those were actually surprising one because I think we could have spent 8 million a little in something else maybe because Pablo Mari cost us 8 million, and
yeah, paying the
but it's
wages of those 55
yeah.
employees.
Yeah. Even Cedric Torres, I think he came in, and maybe he's in plan with the plans what Arteta wants to do with this club. So
Yeah,
at the moment we have signed four players, but it might look impressive at certain point, but when you look at Chelsea, it still looks quite dull because there's just signing players left and right. So yeah, but looking forward to this game, I think Gabriel is not available because he's still in that quarantine phase, and I don't think he'll play in the
yeah, he
Community
won't
Shield.
play. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Saliba is there, so he's kind of a new signing, although signed last season, but he's there. And I saw him against MK Dons, so he did quite well. I wasn't impressed that much, but he's 18 years old and he's playing his first game, so yeah, it's looking quite positive for us, and given the restructuring as well, the whatever happened with Salnehi as well, and now Edu is
yeah,
in control. So it would have been better for Arsenal if we had these traditional 2 months gap between the new seasons. But I think everything's coming thick and fast, and they need to sort out. Maybe this is good because they need to sort out everything so quickly that they're taking decisions so I just think that this restructuring and everything should not affect. And I was just on the website of Arsenal a couple of days back, and I saw Josh Kroenke, who also owns a franchise in I think Canada, and they said that the Canadian franchise did quite very well in the entire history. So he has got potential. Like under him, they performed the best few years uh, compared to their entire history. So maybe like I just saw that maybe he has that potential, and he's been getting like he's getting involved more and more in the Arsenal side. So maybe it could be positive, but we have to look. So yeah, and moving forward, do you
Yeah,
have anything?
just one last thing to the transfers thing before we move on. I read yesterday that Matt Doherty is joining Spurs now, and everything is finalized. So as his replacement, Wolves
Yeah, yeah.
are signing Ainsley Maitland-Niles. So I would just like to know what are your thoughts because he's quite young and like he was showing a lot of potential, and we did talk about him a lot of times like how he would improve under Arteta and in that right wing back role. He is suited to Wolves' system as well and a direct replacement for Doherty in that 3-5-2 system. So just before we move on, are you sad or are you happy for him or something like that?
Uh, it's it's really apples and oranges because I would love to have him because he's so versatile. He can play in that wing position,
Yeah,
and he wants to play in midfield actually, and he can even play as a center mid. But I think he's performed under Unai Emery. He did quite well
yeah,
at that fullback positions, and even under Arteta as well, he's been performing good. He was an outcast before, but in later months, I think Arteta is preferring him. So I think if they are going to sell him, he should at least go for a high fee because to fund our other transfers.
yeah,
I wouldn't say that he would be a huge loss because we can always find someone to replace him from somewhere. And if Arteta is going into this new season with three centre back or three defensive line, three defenders, I think we
yeah,
have enough to cover up right now, and even the fullbacks. And but I think even if he isn't sold, I think he's a great and huge appearance because we know that we can depend on him, and he's shown that in the semi-final and the final of the FA Cup as well. So yeah,
yeah,
it's really up to the club, and I support like every decision they take. So I would
yeah.
support that.
Yeah, so Arsenal are without Mustafi, Pablo Mari, and Chambers for tomorrow's game. They're all injured, and
Yeah,
Liverpool are without the captain Jordan Henderson, even without Joel Matip and their former Arsenal player Oxlade-Chamberlain. So yeah, even both the teams have three injuries to their I wouldn't say their main first team players, but yeah, quite important players. And talking about Liverpool, even they had a friendly recently, and they drew 2-2 against I think Salzburg was the opposition. They were
yeah, yeah.
even down
Salz.
2-0. Yeah, but they came back. So, I mean, I don't know. This after all, we just the Community Shield is just we consider it a warm-up game because it's actually not a competition and a trophy that teams look forward to winning. But Liverpool, I think they would like to, win this and build some momentum towards the next season because we know how in the cup competitions they struggle to do things, and this is their first FA Community Shield since 2006. So I think they would like some cup silverware, and they have I think Jurgen Klopp, even Liverpool haven't signed a lot of players, just the Simicas as cover for Robertson in the left back role. So Jurgen Klopp of course will go with his strongest starting 11 tomorrow, and Arsenal, I think he'll give a Liverpool will give a tough fight to Arsenal
Yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah. And before moving, I just had a deja vu of this moment. So yeah, we were destined to make a podcast about Arsenal and Liverpool. Yeah, so never really
Yeah,
understood what that is, but yeah. So
it's okay.
Thiago as well is on the headlines for Liverpool,
Yeah,
replacing
and
Wine.
yeah, not exactly replacing him, but like we all saw the Champions League final and how brilliantly he controlled that midfield against PSG, and just I mean he's a complete midfielder at this moment, even though he's 28 or 29. and he's at the peak of his powers, and he would fit Jurgen Klopp's system beautifully. And even Wayne Rooney yesterday said that if Liverpool do manage to get Thiago, he will be a better signing than if Manchester City managed to get Messi. Because if Liverpool get Thiago, the title can go to Merseyside again this season. Because we all know how we talk about Liverpool's defense and Liverpool's attack being so, so better as compared to the other teams. But their midfield is quite average because of Klopp's system. But if they can get someone like Thiago, Klopp can get someone like Thiago in that midfield, because even Henderson is become quite old now, and for even as his replacement, I think that Thiago might be the key to them winning the major trophies next season.
Yeah, and there's a certain shift in, I think you would agree, in the last couple of seasons where a center defensive kind of midfielder who is like as De Bruyne said, there's no defensive midfielder and attacking. It's just how much you defend and how much you attack. So
Yeah,
I think the role is quite changed. Like we have Torreira, and finally Arsenal thought that we have someone like who is a solid defender, but the scenes have changed so drastically that no one wants a stopper now. All they want is that he will get the ball for you, and he's creative enough to not just pass the ball to the next player. He's creative enough to create that sort of chance, and
yeah,
a goal scoring chance or something. And Torreira isn't that now, and even Granit Xhaka and what Arsenal are struggling right now. But Thiago is a perfect example of that. He works hard to get the ball, and he is creative enough, and he has that kind of vision to actually create a chance from that deep role and even start attacking from that deep role. And that is, I think, if he, yeah, as you truly said, if he manages to secure that move, or Liverpool managed to secure that move, I think he would be great for Liverpool.
yeah. He's like, I mean, we can compare him to, I think, Marco Verratti of PSG, and even Toni Kroos, because these players play kind of a similar role in that midfield. And we all know how Kroos was instrumental in Madrid's Champions League,
Yeah,
that three consecutive leagues. So yeah, even Thiago could be the same for Liverpool if they manage to sign him, which at the moment is very uncertain, because Bayern want a fee for him. Liverpool want to sign him on a free because his contract expires. So let's see
yeah.
what happens. And now I think we'll just move on to what you think will happen tomorrow and what the prediction will be.
So it's quite difficult because I think for Liverpool, there has been a lot of criticism as to the way how they ended their season, and I think they would like to show the critics with a trophy. And I think even though we say that this is a just a curtain raiser and not that important, but I think for
Yeah,
Liverpool, if they manage to win that, I think this would be another trophy for them. Plus, they would show that they are ready for next season, because there's a lot of hype for Chelsea because they've
yeah,
signed so many players. There's a lot of hype for City because as to the way how what happened last season, and plus Messi and City signing and
yeah, yeah,
everything. So, yeah, so they are going to come strong. And for Arsenal, I think it's some sort of similar way that it is a statement. They made it by defeating City and Chelsea. That they're at some right path, or they are at least growing or something. But this win against like the Community Shield, which by the way Arsenal have won every time they have won FA Cup. They have won the FA Cup. So it's great. Like in recent times, of course, against two times against Chelsea, once against Man City. So this would
yeah,
be again them making a statement, and Arteta making a statement that he's also ready for the next season. So it's going to be tough. Uh, I think Arsenal need to be very strong defensively. I still have confidence and faith in our attackers. I think Aubameyang and Saka managed to create something. Ceballos is going to be a huge loss because nowhere near we have anyone who is creative enough or clever enough with the feet. We had Santi Cazorla, who managed to kind of do the similar thing what Sebas does. Like when you are under pressure, he manages to get a free kick, or just play a long ball, or just
yeah,
play something with his feet and get out of that mess. So I think he's going to be a huge loss. We don't have anyone in that midfield to cover that. Uh, well, if Willian starts, and I think he will play in that attacking midfield role to give us that creativity. So it's a real struggle for Arsenal. They have to be defensively sound. I think Saliba might play well, but I still think that Liverpool are stronger and they might get the result what they want. Before predicting the score, just let me think so you can continue.
Yeah, so just like you mentioned at the beginning of how you're going to bring Arsenal, you have to bring Arsenal in every podcast episode. Let me do my job as well. Arsenal and Liverpool have both won the Community Shield 15 times. So whoever wins tomorrow is will be this like will win the game like the Community Shield for the 16th time, and will become the second team with the most Community Shield. The first one, of course, being Manchester United with 21 wins. So yeah, there's that,
Okay.
and I think yeah, this was enough for you to think about your prediction.
Yeah. So well, I'm leaning. I want Arsenal to win so badly, and I think I have that confidence. But I think Liverpool might just edge it. Although I've been wrong about my predictions earlier. After, but I did predict. Look, you said PSG might win. We never talked about it. You said PSG would win, and I said Bayern would win. Although we were way off on our scores, but we said like it would be KG. So whatever. So I just predict it's going to be Liverpool 2 and Arsenal 1. And
Okay.
Aubameyang's going to score. And I think Saliba is going to score an own goal in the last minute and we are going to lose.
That, I mean, what a way to welcome your new signing, man. I'm really
But
proud of you.
it would be good because he would bounce back and he would be a better defender. He should
Yeah,
know.
sure. Yeah, sure. So yeah, I mean, I'd just like to point out that the last time Arsenal played Liverpool, they won 2-1. The last time Arsenal
Yes.
played a final, they won 2-1. But I think the third times will be, the third time won't be lucky for Arsenal this time. I would say Liverpool will score three and Arsenal will score one. And I think the man of the match or the main player would be Sadio Mane tomorrow. So yeah, we'll see how
Yeah.
this one works out.
Yeah. I'm going to
Yeah,
keep
so
my man of the match
just
secret.
yeah, just before ending this one, just a short question or something for you. As you read yesterday, Pogba tested positive for coronavirus, even
Yes.
Ndombele. And we read recently that even Umtiti before their game against Bayern had tested positive. Even Pjanic tested positive, and a lot of other players from a lot of major European clubs, even Mariano from Madrid had tested positive. So if if the spike is coming back and if a lot of these players are testing positive, should they consider postponing the start a bit? Because if this starts to spread among the players, we'll have to wait for another 2 or months if the leagues get suspended because there will be no players to play. So is it wise enough to postpone just a little bit at the start of the season so that we can avoid suspending the league for another 2 to 3 months later?
Yes, yes, I think they should because if players are getting sick, and what's the use in playing young squads and everything just so that the money might keep rolling? Anyways, clubs are losing the money.
Yeah,
So I think for the safety, and this is a reality check where we are not yet immune because there's still some
exactly.
devastating things going on outside. So yeah, I think it would be very wise to postpone it, and I think that even the football fans should all agree around the globe that it would be a prudent decision. Yes.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. And until then, this I think yeah, this is the end. And you would you like to finish now?
Yes, so listen to our podcast on Spotify for complete versions of taking down some important issues. These are the quickies which we have made to publish any previews or interesting things. And I hope, and or we hope, of course, Vedant is a part of this as much as I am. So we hope that you liked it. So subscribe to our channel and follow us on Instagram and Twitter on grassroot_duo. Thanks, and we'll see you after the game.